Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh, and welcome back here to Hilaal TV. So we are talking to various media houses from across the BRICS nations just to get their view, of course, on the 15th annual BRICS summit that is happening here at the Sandton Convention Center in Johannesburg. Joining me now from Xinhau News Agency, and please do correct me if I'm wrong,
It's
I'm
almost
joined by
correct.
Zheng Kaiju.
Yes.
Mr. Zheng, thank you so much for joining us. Yeah.
Thanks.
Uh, Real pleasure having you. China, of course, being one of the founding members of the
The-
BRICS itself. I mean, China is still going strong. Of course, it just had come out of a strict COVID-19 lockdown. In your view, how is the economy getting its recovery back? Because that's important, isn't it, for the world's second largest economy?
Well, I think BRICS is BRICS. What I think the key theme for BRICS is cooperation, and also no matter how hard we have been, not only China but also maybe I think all the countries in the past several years, because of COVID-19, we have been to a very tough time together. And also, it's not only it might be the problem of a lot of countries. Perhaps all of us have experienced economic problems over the past few years because of lockdowns, because of the halt in kind of trade, economic interactions, and people-to-people exchanges. Almost everything have been put to a stop. But I think as time has passed for us, especially we have finished that kind of the most difficult time, and the people in China, and of course they are gaining the momentum for further economic development, and there might be some kind of a slowdown, but everything is back to normal. And also, not only China, but also I think around the world, many of the countries, not only BRICS countries in the East and the West, we are coming to a slightly better time where people can communicate better, and we build the kind of connections that we should have been built no matter what. So I think that is what I have seen right now. It's also because for over the past several years, uh, meetings like this have been stopped or just went on as a virtual version. But now we all people are getting together, speaking to each other more sincerely, and we have common challenges. Also, we like to build togetherness. We would like to build common opportunities for each other. So, yeah, China is. I think China wants to play a greater role in kind of promoting common development.
Talking about a bigger role, Zheng, uh, President Xi Jinping, it's not just a BRICS summit, but he's also here as a state visit to
Yes.
South Africa. We know China holds a very strong relationship in terms of manufacturing within South Africa. Economically, there's strong ties between South Africa and China. Talk to us about how President Xi Jinping wants to strengthen those ties, because that is one of the key elements that he wants to do, strengthening of the ties between South Africa and China.
I think yes, it's very important. That's also he was here for the BRICS summit, but as well, um, even prior to the summit, he was meeting with the South African president and also other leaders to build a better future for South African and China relations. And it's also the 25th anniversary of the establishment of bilateral ties, diplomatic relations with China, between South Africa and China. And I think in China we call this kind of relationship between South Africa and China as comrades plus brothers.
Yes, yes.
So we and even in our reports recently, we have been calling that a unique brotherly friendship, and also not only in terms of trade, we have been to each other's very important trading partners, and we are expanding the areas of cooperation. And at the same time, we also are very keen to expand our people-to-people exchanges, which is also important. And that we have been here for a quite limited period of time, but we have seen a lot of kind of the kindness of the people of the South African people, and also we are here to report the summit, to report the visit, but also we have brought actually the kindness of the Chinese people towards the South African people, although we are very far apart geographically.
How is China in terms of its economic growth? And I ask that question because, just after that strict lockdown, of course, China themselves have had to do so much in order to get the economy back. Is China heading into an upward curve right now in terms of economic recovery? And if not, what is President Xi Jinping's aim in order to get that up to an upward growth?
Well, I think it might be very hard for me to answer this kind of question because I just work for the media and I was, professionally, there should be something that I can say and I cannot say. But actually, as we and as South African and the Chinese people, I would like to see that indeed the Chinese economy is going well and on the upward curve. And also, I think one thing is very important is that we do not do it just on our own. Of course, we want the development of ourselves, but at the same time, we want to create opportunities for other developing countries, for our friends in Latin America, in Middle East, in African continent, and we would achieve something. If we would achieve something, we would achieve something together. And I think that is the concept of the, there might be other strategies, other plans, but I think the concept is the most important thing is that we develop hand in hand with our friends and comrades and brothers, yes.
One final question, Zheng. Green energy, that's been a
Yes.
big talking point,
Yes.
especially yesterday. China is a world leader in renewable energies. What has President Xi Jinping and, of course, his predecessors before that done so well to make sure that China has consistent energy? And what do you think we as South Africans and especially the authorities can learn from China in terms of full integration of green energy and sustainable energy?
Well, actually, on the streets in South Africa, we see also a lot of cars that are produced. I mean, e-vehicles are produced by Chinese companies, and also there are a lot of retailer stores of electric cars here. So I think that is part of the cooperation. I won't say it's kind of. Each one is learning from other ones, but actually there's a need. If there's a need, there's a chance for cooperation, and also in China, and also in the mechanism of BRICS, there is a BRICS bank which is called the New Development Bank, and there are a lot of infrastructure building and also green energy projects that are funded by this bank. So I think that is also very important, and not only bilateral but multilateral. In terms of multilateral cooperation, we can also build some more connections in the sphere of green energy. And and in China, green energy is also a very important topic. It's always a very key topic. And a lot of young people are getting into this field, learning expertise in creating green way of life. We build green buildings, and we use green cars, and we also there are some even very minor technologies that are promoting this kind of green technologies, and also in big projects, we have solar energies, wind energies. Also, I think in South Africa, there is several wind energy program that are produced with the Chinese enterprises. So I think that are also very good signs, and we want to keep that going. Yeah.
Mr. Zheng, we'd like to thank you so much for
Thank you.
joining us and
Thanks.
for bracing us here. Big Chinese media delegation that is here, so I think the more media we get from our international fellow colleagues, I mean, the greater it's going to be. So thank you so much
Thank
for
you so
joining
much.
us, Mr.
Thanks a lot.
Zheng. And that is how we are from our Hilaal TV studios. That is Zheng Kaiju. He is from Xinhau News Agency. Do stay tuned to Hilaal Live as we bring you more updates from the 15th Annual BRICS Summit.